Well, I think going off of a conversation on, just having discussed what does it take to lead, what does it take to have a mindset of empowering folks to lead and leadership, I kind of want to go into how do we apply that outwardly. And so, my question for you is how can we as young leaders then cultivate intentional relationships to create cultural pivot points for change? Because I often think so many times the purpose behind a desire to lead, we know that first and foremost, the way we go about in doing that is service, serving others. But there's also a desire within us to want to be proactive in creating cultural change for the better. So, how can we cultivate intentional relationships to do that?
As you were talking, I really was just reflecting on walking with God. And one thing that I have been fascinated by, I mean, there is an intentionality, absolutely. We first of all, you want to have an intentionality, but there's another aspect of this that has been so fascinating to me, and that is God's intentionality when you are really just trying to walk out in that space that He's designed for you. Because if you keep this in mind, I have found this to be so true in my life, and I'm not the only one. I see this right and left, and that is that when we are walking intentionally in that sweet spot that God has for us, He's going to connect you up.
Yeah.
He is going to connect you up. I got to where I don't always try to. I might see people that I'm drawn to, and I think we have something in common. But something else that I don't feel to do, I ask for divine connections. Lord, I don't know who you got me want me to meet today, but I mean he's an incredible networker.
Sure, yeah.
He's the uber, he's the monster networker.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing. But intentionality certainly. I mean, run with the crowd. That also is, I mean, you're not going to ascend above the kind of friends you're running with. I mean, you really need to be around people that also carry the characteristics. I mean, you want to meet those people. The Lord will direct the steps. You just keep showing up.
Having an opportunity to have iron sharpen iron.
Oh, it's critical. It's critical. And and if you're in a place that you've really got to, it's again, it comes back to the humility, the servant's heart.
Yeah.
Your leadership capacity will rise. Let me tell you something I've also observed. Cream always rises to the top. It always rises to the top. If you're a leader, you will rise to the height that God is willing for you to. In fact, if you will be His leader, you will rise to heights you never dreamed.
Wow. That's incredibly encouraging. Thank you.
It is to me.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm glad that we had an opportunity to talk about God being the one who is the ultimate designer and crafting everything for us, that this idea of striving is associated with pride.
Yeah.
And really humility and allowing Him to be the one who leads you through leadership. But I kind of want to ask something that is raw and human and, I'm sure something that many people struggle with. I've had conversations with friends saying, I just don't know if I deserve my dreams. Like, I don't know if I deserve, like, if I have an imposter syndrome, like, if I'm trying to be humble, why would I have the stage, or things of that nature, in the sense of, like, once they get the opportunity to perform, feeling like
I shouldn't get to do this?
Right. And have you ever encountered sort of that kind of mentality? What would you say to those young people who have been given the baton and now the opportunity to rise to the occasion, and say, this is your opportunity to lead, and now they've been taken over by perhaps this thought?
I think sometimes, I mean, the only thing I can figure on something like this, I mean, I've heard, well, let's put it this way. I think that this all comes back to, again, having a sense of that I am with God in this process. So I'm never an imposter because I'm traveling at the speed of God.
Wow.
And so he's going to, and here's the other deal too. He is going to bring you and prepare you. And each one of it's like climbing a mountain. And he's never going to take you any higher than you're willing to go with him. But if you will keep climbing with him, even in the steep places, he's never going to take you faster than you can handle. And he's never, as I said, he's never going to make you go. But you should never feel at a certain vista in which the beauty of his having brought you there, suddenly, I don't deserve this. You're not the one who decided to bring you there.
Do you think that would also be like pride stepping in?
I think it's almost like who do you think brought you here? You, or did God do that? Because if God did that, I mean, then he's the one that gets to pick. And for some reason, I mean, I think about this and marvel sometimes. I marvel. I say, for some reason, God lets me do this or that. I mean, I'm not sure where did I merit that. Well, here's the deal: you didn't.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like getting over yourself,
right?
Because you don't deserve squat. You didn't leg up on this deal. You don't deserve it. But the Lord says, taste of this. He loves us.
He's so good to us.
He wants us just like we would want for our own children. And we wouldn't want them saying, do I deserve this? Just eat the fruit.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I'll figure that out when I get there.
I don't mean to bring in the children part. Yes,
Wes, I mean.
That's a whole nother conversation there, Anna, off mic.
No, I think that was really rich and will serve so many people. Thank you, Wes.
Thank you, Anna.